welcome to Because Nerd. I'm your host, Chris Farrell, joined today by two of my best and oldest friends, Clint
There's Mike's face.
and Mike.
Hey now.
All right, guys, today we are going to be looking at the upcoming New Mutants film. So quite a bit of people to talk about here. But anyway, with that being said then, what do you guys think about the trailer so far?
I know I'm pretty excited about it. Obviously, you guys know X-Men. That was my thing when I was a kid. That was my comic. So not as much the New Mutants, because I don't really know as much of their, Marvel history, but they're mixing it in with my other favorite movies, which are horror movies. So that part I'm pretty stoked on.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked too. I mean, I think any comic book movie, any trailer, anything that I look at that has anything to do with comics and superheroes, I'm immediately in. I think it looks pretty good. It's got a lot of big actors in it that are going to do a good job. A lot of actors that a lot of people know from other shows that are huge right now. So I think they got that going for them. And I also think that, if you've listened to our podcast, the Because Nerd podcast, we've shit all over Cannonball, so I'm really hoping that he gets really drunk in this trailer or this movie, and we get to make fun of him some more. But I don't think that's going to happen. So no, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I don't think he's drunk, but I do have a question about what we've seen in the trailer so far about Cannonball. So we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, the trailer looks awesome. It is really cool the way they've taken superhero genre and mixed it up with horror genre. Which I guess is that was also Brightburn.
Exactly.
Did that a little bit as well, but Brightburn was a cool movie. It's a little more of a one note thing though. This one is obviously a bit higher budget. So do you guys think this is going to mix into the MCU? I guess that seems like an open question so far.
As soon as I see the 20th Century Fox logo, it's like, okay, it's not crossing over.
Right. Yeah. I don't think so either.
Yeah. It's definitely not. I mean, you're definitely right. It's not directly putting in, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out with the new mergers of everything, they may come up with a way of coming to try to bridge that back in.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I hope they do. I mean, in my world, I wish everything was together. You got the X-Men with the New Mutants, with Deadpool, I want it all in one universe, man, because I think that would rock. But I doubt this is going to be that way. I will say this though. One thing about it, that there's high hopes for this show or this movie. Because did you guys see what the director said? Like one of the pull quotes they had from one of the interviews that he had. He basically said, "I'm not concerned about negative reviews. You can only go up after Dark Phoenix." So I'm pretty sure they're not gonna bring it in with the fucking the X-Men franchise after he just shit all over Dark Phoenix. So
yeah, that was a rough go. So okay, so let's look at the actors, but let's talk about who they're actually going to play and talk a little bit about what we see in the trailer so far.
Yeah.
So so we've already mentioned Cannibal. Anyone you want to start with? Do we have a particular order you want to go in?
Yeah, let's go down. I mean, if you go to the IMDb and go straight down from the top, it starts with Maisie Williams, which is Wolfsbane or Arya Stark, as most people know her, the faceless one.
Right.
Couple things about her. I mean, I'm stoked that she's in this, right? I mean, I think she's a great actor. I think she's going to do a good job. But crazy thing is when you look at her in the trailer, there's a couple scenes where, if anybody knows who Wolfsbane is, she turns into a werewolf. And two things I saw with that. One, if what I think is happening, there's 3 tiny little scratches on her back. I mean, it literally looks like she was walking through like some trees and it accidentally scratched her back, and that's what turned her into it. So I hope that's not the bite of the werewolf.
She was out in the woods and she got poison ivy and somehow it turned her into a wolf.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, she had an itch,
wow.
And so she went to go itch it, and there were some scratches, and she's like, "Oh shit!" Now she's a werewolf for some reason. But but in another scene, one thing that kind of freaked me out a little bit. If you go back to those really shitty movies about the sparkly vampires and their nemesis wolves, I was already like, damn it, man! When you have a werewolf, let it turn into a fucking werewolf, like a werewolf in London, or like some crazy, awesome, gnarly werewolf. But there's a scene where it looks like a wolf is running through a park or some kind of grassy area, and it's this tiny, cute little wolf. And I'm like, God damn it, if she turns into this little tiny wolf in this show and she's not like a big, menacing werewolf.
So wait, is she actually, I mean, I know you keep saying she's a werewolf, but I mean, is she literally a werewolf? Because, I mean, she's a mutant. Like, how is a werewolf a mutant?
Well, she can turn into a wolf. I mean, Wolfsbane turns into a wolf. But I'm talking like, come on, it's a wolf. Can it be a cool-ass werewolf?
I mean, I guess if you got your own headcanon you just want to live by, that's fine. All right.
Mm-hmm. Good point, though. She's actually not a werewolf.
She is in my world.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
Well, next we've got Anya Taylor. Everybody knows her from the movie Glass and the movie. What was the movie with the guy with the 21 personalities? It was 21, right? It had Professor Xavier in it, and he's a bad guy, has 21 personalities in him.
Oh,
Split.
yeah. Split.
No, Split.
Yeah.
Split. There you go.
Yeah, everybody knows her from Split, and she's an excellent actor, was awesome in that.
21, I think, is a very different movie.
It is totally wrong. I did no research on this whatsoever. But no,
right.
she's a great actor. I liked her in those movies. And she is playing Magic, who is a Russian mutant with sorcery powers. And she can manifest the thing called the Soul Sword, right? So she can turn her arm and everything into like a soul sword wielding kind of weapon. And she can teleport. And the cool thing about her is that
She's
one of my
basically
favorite,
Psylocke.
She's basically
She's
Psylocke
exactly
with a portal gun.
Psylocke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but she can make armor too. So
She can make armor.
she's
Well, the cool thing is if you know Colossus, right? In the X-Men, he can turn himself into metal. Well, when she transforms into, her soul sword wielding body self, her arm kind of armors up like Colossus does because she is Colossus's sister. So I'm extremely excited for that. Like in the last couple years, I have been so happy that they brought Colossus into like Deadpool, and he was done so well. Like he was done perfectly, and I'm hoping they do the same with her. So that's pretty cool.
She's per the trailer, she's my favorite character out of the whole
Yeah.
set of them, just based on what I know so far.
Yep.
Because she's got that take no shit kind of attitude, and man, you see her like get the sword and go after the bear, and the way the armor looks when it's forming on her. I mean, she just looks like she's gonna be a kick-ass.
She'd be badass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, one cool thing too, I don't know if they're gonna do this or not. I hope they don't, because if they do, it's gonna fucking ruin the movie. But she has a purple dragon named Lockheed, and I think they're going to put him in the film. I mean, there's been rumors of it that I've seen, but
That's my
I really
understanding.
hope not,
Yeah.
because like, come on now, it's a horror movie and like a little
Wait.
purple dragon shows up.
What's that? What's that show? Happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it'd be like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll make it like an evil looking little, dragon. Not like a purple happy cartoon one, but something like evil and mean looking.
Yeah, I can see if it was like
little.
a small dragon, but anything that's little is cute though. It could be a little, little dragon. You're just like, oh, it's a little dragon. It rip your throat out, but he's cute.
It'll end up looking like an oversized gecko or something.
I'm still confused on how these are mutants. How like we've got having a purple dragon as a pet is like a mutant power. It's just a weird coincidence, huh?
I didn't look into her enough to know if it's like something she manifests or it's just like a pet she picked up along the way somewhere. I don't know. I need to look into that a little bit more. But either way, tiny dragon. It actually doesn't even say tiny. I'm totally making that up. It just says she has a purple dragon companion. So for all I know, it's a giant dragon.
We're just assuming it's a little one that rides on her shoulder.
Here at Because Nerd, we do no prep work. It's awesome.
We just roll in, tires screeching, and just start making dick jokes. Here we go. So-
Right. She's got a dragon. Let me tell you about my purple dragon. Hey.
All right, keep it rolling then. Who's next?
Next, we've got Jonathan Byers. If anybody knows who he is, his Charlie Heaton from the Stranger Things show. He's playing Sam Guthrie, aka Cannonball. Who Cannonball has the ability to, I guess, turn himself on fire and throw himself at shit. But he can propel himself into the air, and when he's doing that, he's invulnerable. So if you listen to the Because Nerd podcast, he has a drinking problem, a big one, and that's how he flies. If you want to get more
he
to
has
it,
explosive diarrhea that he lights on fire and propels himself very fast through the air.
yep.
Why did they come up with the name Fireball? I mean, Cannonball. Why didn't they go with Fireball?
I think it's more of the kinetic, like he's like shot out of a cannon, and he's like, I don't even know if he can control himself when he's flying like that. I think he's like the Juggernaut, where you can't stop him when he's going, but when he's going, he's not really in control.
You just kind of point him in the general direction of the enemy and hope you hit your mark.
In this movie, it's going to be a lot of him just running into walls and shit, and missing all the time because he can't aim.
Now, a question I have about him in this movie. So, to the question of why they call him Cannonball, there's the whole thing. He propels himself, but also while he's doing so, he's in some kind of shielded thing where he's supposed to be invulnerable. So, like, he can just ram into stuff, and it doesn't do any damage to him. Because if that wasn't the case, I mean, We wouldn't even have this character around. After the first time of his power, it would have been a bloody mess. It would have been horrible.
Every time he cannonballs, he's in traction for the next 6 months because he breaks every bone in his body.
Yeah.
This is the question then. His arm's broken in the trailer. He's got a cast.
Oh.
So what happened to the guy?
They're going against everything the Cannonball's about.
I think that comes together with exactly what we're saying, right? He doesn't.
Yeah.
He has breakable bones, and he can't aim himself when he becomes a cannonball. So he is pretty much just a recipe for disaster.
He can use his powers one time. That's it. And if he hits something, he's dead.
Classic Sam Guthrie.
Oh, yeah. Sam.
All right. That's enough of that. Next one.
We got Blue Hunt, who's a kind of a newer actor on the scene. She's been in a couple other shows and whatnot, but she's a Native American actress, which is awesome. She's playing Danielle Moonstar, who's Mirage, and Mirage she's who we see in the trailer in the beginning, running out of the house with her father carrying her or taking her, and the house blows up, and she can create illusions based on fears and desires of the people that she's using her powers on, which is really fucking cool if you think about it.
It seems really reckless of them to have brought her to this school of a bunch of traumatized people, and just to like.
Well, let's be clear. I mean, it's not a school. It's an insane asylum, actually.
Right.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, this medical facility, so to speak, then, which I think has the name of Dr. Sinister. Like I forget. I was looking at something
Flag.
about it, and it's whatever it's an M, whatever his name is. I can't think of what his actual name is, but like the school seems like it's named after. It's got his last name to it.
Big question on this, right? These mutants get rounded up and they're taken into insane asylum, whatever hospital, and they're getting tested on, right? Xavier is basically the only mutant on Earth that can find all the other mutants, right? All he has to do is go into Cerebro and find all the other mutants. How come Xavier doesn't find these mutants in the first place?
Well, probably because they have a mutant on staff. He's part-time. He works like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But when he's on staff and on shift, his power is to negate, allowing other people to kind of see in there, because it's got to be something like that. Otherwise, Xavier would have swooped in. Now, the other thought about this is Xavier's like, oh, fuck no. I don't want anything to do with those five. Not at all. You can't come to my school. So maybe Xavier helped him.
He found them, and he was like, damn, they're a hot mess. I don't want anything to do with that.
Now that makes complete sense to me. Now I get it.
There's no saving those ones. Just let them die.
So this mutant that has the power to make illusions based on people's fears. I love that they just go ahead and put her in close proximity to a couple other powerful mutants with traumatic experiences, just to be like, hey, we like to party. Let's just go ahead and see what happens.
Let's crank
right?
this shit up to 11 a little bit, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the cool thing is, one question I had in the trailer, and we got one more character to go, but in the trailer in the very beginning, if you've seen it, you've got her running with her father, who's also a Native American guy who was in, if anybody knows, he was Slipknot from the Suicide Squad movie, which is kind of awesome that he's now in the Marvel Universe and that too. So I thought that was kind of cool. But in the beginning, she wakes up. The house blows up because apparently there's a car that hits it that's full of gasoline or maybe TNT or maybe fireworks. I don't know. But it hits it, explodes.
Yeah. It was a highly explosive car, that's for sure.
Yeah. It was a Fiero. Remember those Pontiac Fieros back in the day? Like they were known to blow up. Yeah, there was nothing bad going on. They were like, Jerry's in his Fiero again. He just fixed it, but he's going to hit the house and blow up. Everybody run. And so
it looks
Jerry
like he's drunk. Let's get out of here.
Jerry's drunk again driving that goddamn Fiero. So yeah, but here's the thing. What's her worst fear, right? What would be your worst fear?
Jerry in that Fiero.
Jerry in that goddamn Fiero. Or you wake up out of a slumber, your dad gets you, something bad is happening, and then your father dies in front of your eyes. I almost think that that's not real, man. I think it's her powers creating an illusion that basically her father dies. I mean, or maybe it did happen, but she's manifesting it in the future, because there's way too many things that happen in the beginning of the trailer where you're like, oh, really? Okay. You ran away for 10 seconds and now you're dead right in front of your daughter. Like, come on now.
It is pretty bad. Like he helps her to get out in the woods behind a tree, and he's like, "Stay here. Come on, I got to go back. I got to help these people." And she's like, "No." And he's like, "I have to go and help them." And I mean, 2 seconds later, the dude is like blasted back, and it's like, I don't know what just happened, but I almost feel like you could have looked to the left and been like, maybe I should get behind the tree with you for a second, and then I'll go help.
Who would he be going back for? It was their house, right? And it was the house, what seemingly looked like
go back for Jerry, man.
Looked like
He's going to get Jerry out of that Fiero.
Yeah.
He was like, honey, I got to go get Jerry. And he's like, Dad, no, stay with me. But no, but Jerry's, he's a good guy.
He's an
just got a
annoying
drinking
drunk
problem.
bastard, but he's a good friend. And he's a good friend, though.
I don't have another mechanic in town, and he fixes my goddamn Chevy. All right, we need him, and he's just drunk.
I mean, I've had to replace like 3 walls and a couple of windows and everything because Jerry's run into the house I don't know how many times. But I mean, hey, he was there for me that time when my mom was sick and he helped out around the house and I feel bad leaving him in there, so I got to go. Oh, damn it!
Well, the crazy thing too is if you guys pay attention, I can't really tell from the trailer, but it looks like the house is blowing up. It is snowing and it's cold, but the house is blowing up. But when her dad gets waxed, it looks like he's frozen. So it's like, is there a mutant with freezing powers, or is it just really cold out there? Like, it doesn't really make any sense. So I'm really curious to see what that's all about.
Yeah. Okay.
Iceman's in the movie?
Yeah. Bobby, I think Bobby, what the hell's his name? Bobby Drake? Bobby
Drake.
Bobby
Drake.
was on a drinking bender as well. He was just out there just freezing people.
Yeah, Bobby was with Jerry. And right before that, the car blew up. He turned to ice, so he was saved. And then he was drunk. He just started shooting like ice bolts at people and ended up getting her dad.
He was trying to put all of Jerry's fires out, but it was just causing more problems.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good point. Good point. So anyway, so next we've got the last person, Henry Zaga. And I don't know much about Henry Zaga as an actor. He plays Sunspot, or Roberto da Costa, which is a Brazilian mutant who can manipulate solar energy. And his power, I never really understood Sunspot so much. I think he's pretty powerful because he can use radiation, right? He absorbs solar energy and can redirect it. But the way it's described in the IMDb, it's like he can manipulate solar energy. So he's he's just charging Teslas and out there, basically giving people power, like installing solar panels and stuff on the roof. Like, what the hell is he doing? So
yeah, he helps to run like those little lights that go alongside your walkway.
Yeah. What they don't show you is that Sunspot is actually on the roof of the house. He's actually installing some solar panels when Jerry hits it with the Fiero. So you don't know this, but it was like a Christmas present because they didn't have a lot of money, and he was like, "Hey man, if I can help my fellow mutant, I'll get up there and give you some free solar power." And Jerry fucked all that up. So
all right,
that's
okay.
it.
So that's the characters. Any highlights from it? So let's see here. There's like there's the cool homage to Nightmare on Elm Street, where she like freaks out in the bathroom.
That's super cool.
And and then like it's like from Dream Warriors.
The very best Nightmare on Elm Street, I will say. Yeah. Absolutely.
Undisputed. So there's another reference. What I would say it's a horror movie, right? Pan's Labyrinth, fantastic movie. Those creepy ass looking dudes at the end with no eyes look like Pale Man.
And if you notice, in the trailer, the Pale Man has buttholes for eyes. That is terrifying. I didn't care about his teeth or his lack of hair or whatever, but you can definitely tell that he sees out of 2 chocolate starfish, and it's terrifying.
Okay, what else happens? We've got the crazy bear that's going to be causing a lot of problems.
A lot of bear references.
The whole thing.
Is it going to be one of those things where like the bear's chasing him through the entire show, and then at the end he just had like a sticker in his paw and he just needed help, and they were like, "Oh, he was just in pain. He didn't really want to hurt
He's a
us."
nice bear. He's just hurting.
He's just hurting, and we were attacking him with soul swords, and fucking Cannonball ran into his asshole, and then next thing you know, he just needed us to help him, and now he's a good bear.
All for just a thorn in his paw.
It was just a thorn in his paw.
All right. Well, now we just got to hope that this movie actually comes out.
Did see that AMC is scheduled to open up some select theaters, and that they're going to have 15-cent admission prices to celebrate the opening of their very first one that was opened in I think Kansas or something in 1920. But yeah, it'd be 15 cents a ticket.
Dude, 15 cents in a case of COVID-19? That's a deal right there.
Because they 15 cents just to catch COVID. That sounds awesome.
Right?
You can't pay those kind of prices for anything better. All right, one more thing. There's a scene where what's her face, the little girl, after she's running away from the house exploding from Jerry, she's rolling down a hill, like rolling down this mountain over and over, and it seems to go for quite a bit of time. But it reminds me of that movie Hot Rod. So. Shit. Oh. just wanted to put that out there in case we want to use it in this video because it's funny. But that's all I wanted to say.
There's plenty more Because Nerd where that came from. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to our channel. We got a whole lot more coming.